How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be making our way into the Deepwood Shrine, which is a very exciting first dungeon. I think this might be probably my favorite first dungeon from the handheld games, pre-3DS that is. I don't know, I've only played through it twice, but just in those two times, it really feels like a beginner dungeon, like it's not too difficult, but at the same time, I find it really interesting, because there's no real boss fight here, and you got these weird little spider webs all over, but from what I remember, there isn't really any spidery enemies, so makes you wonder, maybe at some point there was some sort of giant spider creature that lived here, and then perhaps it died over the course of time, and then got replaced by a new boss, which is, it's kind of a lame boss fight. I think they probably could have done better, but if you're gonna make a first boss like really easy, you'll see who they chose. I think it was a decent pick in that regard. Maybe not creativity, but just for a first boss. The enemies here are fairly simple to kill. I think the most hits to kill any of these guys is gonna be 2 hits, just for the enemies like in general around here, so there's nothing really to worry about. Pretty sure you can find lots of hearts in the jars, and you know, we'll be getting another heart container here pretty quick, and there's not really too much to worry about here. It's kind of a straightforward place. I think I already said that though. And there's, in the areas you possibly could get confused, you can kind of figure out where to go. Just, if you've been in one room, you know not to go there, or if you miss something, you know to recheck something out. One thing to note is that when I recorded this, because this isn't live, when I recorded this, I missed that bottom right corner. Now I don't know if there's anything under those little, I don't know what you want to call them, like little dust piles, just in the bottom right corner of this room. I didn't check if there's anything under there. I don't think there is, because I think I checked the compass. But if you want to, go for it and check. Otherwise, I believe at some point in this video, I check the map before I go to the boss fight, just to make sure I got everything. So, with that all being said, we can't do anything with that spider web right there. We can make our way up here, and there's a locked door there. There's a shut door up here. A blocked push right there. So, leaves us with limited choices, doesn't it? And for some reason he pointed that part out after the barrel could already move. Maybe he's just a bit slower. I don't know. So we can go down here, and then this is going to lead us to a room where we're actually going to get a dungeon item. Well, not a dungeon item, but like a guidance item, I suppose. Which is just going to be on that little center platformer. I don't know, center column? Whatever you want to call that thing in the middle. Just up there, and there's a heart piece over there, which we're going to be getting a little bit later. All in all, this little dungeon, whatever you want to call it, it'll probably take you less than a half hour. I mean, I know speedrunners can do this stuff pretty quickly, but if you're just going casually, it won't take you that long if you're worried about time constraints or anything. Some of the dungeons are a bit longer later on, but you should be able to manage, I think, because we'll be a lot more prepared later on. These floating guys are kind of a pain to deal with sometimes. They don't always like to cooperate with my sword, which is unfortunate, but fortunately this guy did. And then this is a pretty cool puzzle in my opinion. I believe they did this in the Oracle games. We have to push the pods to go on switches. I know I've played through those games, so you'd think I would know the answer for certain, but I don't remember. I want to say they did, though, because I do like these pushing and pulling block puzzles, because it's something that's not really as fun in the 3D titles, but when they do it here, it actually works, you know? And we can't get that chest until both of these are pressed down, so let's press the other one down, grab the key, and then we're done with this little section here. So we can just hop on back. can destroy the pot if you want. We don't need to go back over the bridge. And then, like I said, we'll be getting that heart piece later. So now we have a key. So that leaves us one door to go to. Just gonna be coming up pretty quickly. Right up here. Like so. Okay, so this is a fun little room. We got that mushroom on the side. We got this little area up here. You can jump down now if you want, but I believe we're supposed to go this way. So, let's find out. You know, you don't want to do that because then you'll drown in the water, which is very unfortunate that Link cannot swim. I always found that interesting. Why is it that nobody taught him to swim? Like, he's a kid, isn't he? So, you think he'd know how to swim, but he doesn't. I find that interesting, but I guess to make puzzles a bit more complicated, it works. This is kind of a little spoiler, but we do get the flippers later on, but I kind of wonder why they never put any the secret underwater objects in any of these earlier areas. Like, there's not really, I think there's only one thing that you have to dive for in this entire game, and that's just a heart piece. And that's like really, I think, the only purpose of diving. But, you know, they do what they want to do. I just think the diving, like middle diving sections like the Oracle games and Link's Awakening had would have made this game just a smidge better. I mean, it's still a really good game, but just adding those little features were really cooler. And I guess I was mistaken at the start. These guys do take 3 hits, not 2. Just gotta keep my distance there. A key, and then we should be coming up on our first warp point. Generally there's going to be 2 warp points in every dungeon, temple, whatever you want to call them. Blue one is, I guess it's for like the quarter of the way, and then the red one usually seems to be maybe like 3/4 of the way through the dungeon, maybe a half. Kind of differs from dungeon to dungeon. Sometimes they're just placed in random areas. Just to help you traverse a little bit, say you missed an item or something. And we're actually going to be unlocking one of those first warp points right here. I believe we need the dungeon item, because that's how we get that heart piece up there. But as you can see, there's not too much we can do with all this little hay and stuff. And a thing to note down here, you can get the compass in that chest right now. I forgot to, and I think I got it at the very end. Which you don't need to wait until the very end. You can get the compass right now and just push the block on the, I want to say push the block on the right up and then the left one to the left, and then you should be able to get the compass. If you want to copy me, you can just head upstairs right away and then get it at the last few seconds, whichever works for you. So now we're going to continue making our way forward, or leftward, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to head left one more room, not right. I kind of have a tendency to skip the single rupees. I know it's probably a bad habit, but it's just something all kind of does. Key for this little mini boss is you want to hit his nose as soon as he's normal colored, and then you want to rush to his tail and then spam the sword button over and over, and then just let him cool down from the red. That's when you want to be bobbing and weaving, I suppose. And then I guess he doesn't really speed up after each attack cycle. No, okay. But you can see that door on the bottom right. That is actually going to be leading to the heart piece. So we'll be getting that pretty soon, actually. And then you can guess what this is going to be. A dungeon item, which is the Gust Jar. Now, this allows us to draw things in and spit them out. So you can use these on the cobwebs. Now, I wonder if that little boss there, was he supposed to be the cause of the cobwebs? I mean, he doesn't really look anything like a spider. He was like, I guess, a millipede or centipede, something like that. But I don't know. It's interesting. It makes you think. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe there was some hidden lore. I don't know. What I do know is that this is a very interesting first dungeon that I really like. Alright, so now we can take care of these guys. They kind of remind me of those enemies from the Four Swords games that you have to pull from each side and then swing at them. I don't think we actually get anything for killing all these guys, but it's the thought that counts. Just knowing that I did some good deeds and cleared out this place. So now we're going to get the heart piece right here, and you can actually head to the start if you want to get the heart piece on the little platform in the other room. But I think I wait until later to get it. But whatever floats your boat, you know? If you want to get it now, go for it. If you want to just follow along with me, also go for it. But I think at this point, I'm gonna go get this little switch over here. Oops. And then I think there's a chest that appears. Maybe some seashells. Another thing to note is that you want to be cautious with your seashells. Make sure that you kind of spend them wisely, I guess you'd say. Because for every dungeon or temple you beat, there's gonna be more little figurines that you can spend them on. And one of the things you need for 100% is to actually get all the figurines, which is kind of annoying. Just be careful that you don't ever say you have 999 seashells. Just make sure you spend them before you keep on getting more seashells. Goodness. This is a fun little room. Kind of reminds me of, actually, I guess the Twilight or Tears of the Kingdom reminds me of this, where you have to use the Korok leaves to move around with these types of rooms. But nope, this did it first. Alright, so I don't remember which way. Alright, so the right way is leading us back up to that chest. Oh yeah, and you don't have to worry if you fall off the little lily pad, because it just respawns you back on it, which is very nice. But this leads us up to that chest, and I think this is where I get the compass, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you just want to push this little lily pad up to here. There we go. And then you gotta use one of these pots to hold down that switch. Just make sure you don't destroy them all, otherwise you're gonna have to leave and reset the room. And while I'm doing this, I want to kind of talk about the schedule for this game. So, I know with Majora's Mask, I kind of did that every Saturday, which I kind of want to do with Minish Cap. It is a shorter game. At least it feels like it's shorter. I think it's shorter. I want to say I want to do Saturdays. I know this is going up on a Tuesday, but we'll just see, because I did like the Saturday for Zelda, but maybe I'll end up doing 2 videos a week for this game. We'll see. But for now, after this video, it's probably just going to be Saturday for the first couple weeks, and then we'll just kind of go from there. But like I said, make sure that you get the compass pretty soon, unless you want to be like me. And I goofed up there. I should have pushed the right one first. So I'll be getting that later. You don't really need the compass for anything major in this place. There's nothing super awesome that you're going to get out of any of these chests. It's just some rupees and seashells. And I think I've gotten most of them by this point, which we'll see later on, because I believe I show the map. And then we got some more little pulley puzzles. I guess these are mushrooms. They're very small mushrooms, like... This is supposed to be a shrine, yeah? So... I don't know, I always wonder, what's the point of all these boss keys? Like, what were they trying to protect, exactly? You never know. I'm gonna stick with the theory that the original boss here died, and that this boss that we're having here is just some cheap knockoff that we get to fight. I don't know. It probably was a spider originally, and this cheap knockoff came along and just messed everything up. Now that we have the boss key, you can head upstairs, but since I missed the good old compass, might as well get that, and then I believe there's one more chest. Yeah, this one right here. And that's just one mysterious shell. So, after this dungeon, you could cash in your figurines, or your shells for figurines. The last time I played was, I think, a week ago when I filmed this, so I haven't quite done that yet. And I haven't done a figurine counter on the side just because everyone can kind of go at their own pace. What I would do is probably gradually get them, you know, like after every dungeon, just use the save points so that you never get a repeat, and then just kind of go like that. If you're really struggling later on in the game, there's going to be a way to get a lot of rupees, so then you can just keep buying them from the shop. That is a little bit slower, but you can probably minimize the amount of times you have to do that if you keep on using the save points. So, just kind of whatever you feel like doing with the figurines, just go for it. If you want to wait until the end, just, I guess, avoid chests and whatnot. But it just depends on what you want to do. Whatever your preferences for the figurines, just kind of go for it. I don't know if I'm really going to show myself getting the figurines very much. We'll see. And then to get that chest, you would just want to go from the left door on the bottom side. And then that pretty much is the entire dungeon, aside from the boss fight. What was I gonna say? I guess they really like the grass theme, like starting from Ocarina of Time, and then just kind of stuck with it. Well, was Oracle of Ages, was that it was the Mako tree, right? And that was like grass theme. So I guess they just really like their grass themed stuff. Because Twilight Princess had that the Forest Temple. I don't know. I guess they really like Pokemon themed stuff. Because you got grass, water, and fire, and that's sort of the way it is with Zelda games. Or grass, fire, water. Did I say that, or did I say, I don't know. But here is our very lame boss. It is just a Chuchu. He's not even electric or anything. It's just a normal one. Like, it's an interesting concept. I'm glad they only did this once. Could they have done better? Definitely, but this is what they decided to do, so I don't know. What you want to do for this guy is suck out all his guts and then just swing like crazy when he's down. I think it's 3 cycles of mashing the swing button. Just dodge whenever he's about to bully you, and that's kind of the entire boss fight. Don't really need to worry about, even if he hits you, I think he only does like half a heart damage. So very boring boss fight. Like, I would rather have seen like a giant spider. I know that's typical for Zelda games, like a spider-like boss, but goodness, can't they give us something better than this guy? I don't know. I'll give him points for first time trying this, like a normal enemy making it into a boss. But still, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is 4 cycles for this guy. So this being the final one. Down and then mash the swing. that takes care of them. Got those googly eyes going on. And then we'll have our first element, our first boss heart container. And that is the first dungeon, temple, whatever you want to call it. It's interesting, ain't it? So, with that all being said and done, I'm gonna end it here, the commentary. I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.